That's good.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's been a while. I thought I'd catch up with you guys in regards to what's happening with the transfers. We all know the situation with the money, and because of that, it's a really kind of subpar transfer window. We're going to have to sell in order to buy, and there's a lot of deadwood clear out that's happening there. Players have had their one-to-ones with Emery, end of season chats, and he's told a few of them the surplus to requirement and go and find a new team. That's not been going down very well with a few of them. So we've got a few unhappy players, a few players that are not don't feel like they're being paid very well. A couple of them have taken off their Arsenal badges off their Instagram, and I'm all about getting on the pitch and doing what you're supposed to be doing, and doing what you're paid to do as well. You signed a contract for a term and you have to honor the term. So regardless about how much you're getting paid, you're getting paid what you agreed to get paid at the time. So a lot of instability going on at the moment, but we move on. We're thriving with Emery putting his first foot forward, and I don't think he's going to be sitting down waiting for people to sort their lives out. I think he's just going to go straight ahead and carry on building his team, because he realizes that if he doesn't produce for this year, he could be gone at the end of the season. So he's not really looking at any drawbacks. Right now, we're in negotiations, not just with Lacazette, which I've talked about in previous videos, but news is now that we're going to be offering Aubameyang another contract. And of course, you remember what they said about when there's 2 years left, they'll renegotiate. So what Vinay said is coming true. It's working out. So Aubameyang and Lacazette guys are being offered a new contract together. So that's some good news. What we're looking at is Koscielny could be on his way out. So, that could be Dortmund, that could be pretty much anywhere. I'd expect him to go to France, if I'm honest. But right now, I think he realizes he's not going to start next year and he'd like to play. This is a guy that should have been in France's starting 11 in the last World Cup. And injuries have slowed him down somewhat and shortened his career. And I just hope that he'll be able to play a part in football moving forward, at least getting a few games. That ain't going to happen at Arsenal. So, yeah, it is what it is. The Yannick Carrasco deal is not really anything to report on that, apart from the player saying he's in negotiations with a European team, of which he won't give up the name for. And rightly so, because then everybody would be jumping on them to get the deal done. Whether he's coming to Arsenal or not, I don't really know. I mean, the wages situation, that needs to be sorted out. And Arsenal, if they move for Ryan Fraser, would already have a player in that front three reign. Now, the Ryan Fraser issue is a problem because he's come out today and said that he might be staying at Bournemouth next season. Now, that is not a good statement to make when you're a commodity on the market with a year left on your deal. Oh, dear. I think really that is a message more of a hurry up, come and get me if you want me type of message, rather than, no, I think I'll stay here, I'm good. Yeah, I think in his mind he knows that he'd rather be playing for a team that's challenging for top four honours, and a team that's going to pay him a bigger salary. We've seen what's happened in previous years with the Vardy situation. Whether or not people would agree with it or not, him staying for relative 100 grand a week, not as much as Arsenal was going to pay him, or Liverpool for that matter, but it hasn't really paid dividends. They've not made any moves in terms of challenging for the title. They've not been in any cup finals. They've not really competed, and they've looked good. They've looked about as good as Wolves, but that can only take you so far. Wolves are the team that got into the UEFA Cup, not Leicester. So has that deal been worth it? Yeah, think back to Matt Letizia with Southampton. Think back to Alan Shearer with Newcastle. Being loyal to a point is good, but it's not going to further your career. And that's the reason why when Henry or Fabregas wanted to move on to Barcelona, I had no problem, because they won honours when they went there. and rightly so. You can't deny a player if he wants to succeed and be a champion at the top of his sport. So at the end of the day, if that's what Ryan Fraser is saying he doesn't want, then that's on you, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not. If you want to sit down in a mid-table club and fight for relegation here and there, that's up to you. Yeah. If you want to come to London in the best city in the UK, and if you want to challenge for honours, and you want to compete, then Arsenal's your team. And believe me, they need a guy like you because the 7 goals and 14 assists. Yeah, I mean, our assist king only had 2 assists last season in terms of Ozil. So we could do with some fresh blood up front. Otherwise, it will be who's coming on. He is coming on, and Mkhitaryan will do an adequate job. But what Ryan Fraser did last year was second only to Hazard in terms of assists. So this guy not only can score, but he can create, and Arsenal need a lot of that. They need that, especially with these 2 strikers. So I don't know really where they're going to go with that. I think the onus is always going to be on Arsenal to push. And that's what they haven't done in the past. And this is something we want to see from the front office. We want to see them push for transfers. They did well last year. I think it's going to come down to that Emery urgency, understanding that this is the year that he has to produce the figures. There's no honeymoon period for Emery anymore. He is going to be expected to achieve some kind of honours or top 4 next season. Yeah, it's simple as that. So another thing I really want to touch on is this deal with Marcus Schobert, the goalkeeper. Now, what does this mean for Emilio Martinez? A guy who I really like, by the way. I think he's a decent goalkeeper. And I'm really not sure why Arsenal are letting him leave. Maybe they think that Marcus Schobert is going to push Leno for the #1 spot. And if that's the case, then I'm all for it. I think it's lazy to ensure that somebody is going to be the #1 goalkeeper. I think you've got to push them in all areas, as with all positions. But yeah, if that's the case for it, then I don't mind that deal going through. But I would have preferred Emilio Martinez to stay at Arsenal because, you know, he's one of us and he's played well when he's been put in a position as well. So that's it from me, guys. Just really want to touch base with you and see where we are so far in the transfer market, but not really want to say too much until some deals are on the table. There's a lot of speculation right now. I'm hearing tons of stuff from agents. Everyone's reading stuff in the media. It's really down to the team for them to make the onuses and put their first foot forward and be aggressive as much as they can. They know how much money that they got now with these new commercial deals, and obviously without the Champions League money, they know where they stand. So right now they're looking at their budget and they've just got to use what they can. And if they want more, just sell players and then create that gap. You know, if you sell Ozil or Mustafi, then, you know, that gives you a larger pool. So we'll see where they are, and we'll touch base with you soon, guys. Peace out.